So like I say, I'm and I'm also like doctors and and stuff like that. So then and like I say, Germany does really well. Renault does really well. Everybody's doing really well. With basically ammonium nitrate and and basically also basically steroids and drugs. And also I'm like, well, with science and stuff we can make you look any way you want, and we can also eliminate all the diseases and everything. Anyway, so Germany's working with me basically, or my Germans. So we're eliminating things like foot odor, and also like we eliminate scabies, and we also eliminate all these things, and we also get all these water systems built, and basically the human civilization starts turning around. And there's plenty of children, there's plenty of food, there's plenty of everything. And we're building my White Star Line ships, and there's shipping between the two countries and everything else like that, and everything's going perfect. Humanity got behind me, and I'm like, well, I'm your epic creator, blah 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 blah. I build civilizations, is what I do. So just come with me, move with me. I'm your true leader. So anyway, so like I say, and for a while there, I'm very much against the Vatican, as the Vatican's trying to kill me, because the Vatican's working with JFK and blah 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 blah, and Black Plague, the black people, which decided to be a plague upon the civilization. So basically, which is just Papa, this black guy in Warsaw or something else, walking around slapping women, and stuff like that. So anyway, so like I say, and so basically my White Star Lines company was going to fail, and basically I was going to go bankrupt and go broke and be killed or whatever else like that, and so were my people. So anyway, though, so the thing is, the gypsies and all these other civilizations who knew me from the past, because like I say, I was paying gypsies to go to my towns and basically, do the puppet shows and stuff like that. And they were doing puppet shows and this and that. And at some point in time, somebody attacks the gypsies for their money, or attacks the gypsies, and the gypsies are like, "Why did you attack us?" And this and that, and they're screaming and crying because a bunch of them get slaughtered. And it's like, I didn't attack you, So anyway, so the gypsies find out about it, and at first they thought I attacked them, but it's like, why would I attack you? You promote, you do puppet shows and do this and do that. I'd never do that. I love you guys. So anyway, so like I say, the gypsies thought I attacked them and slaughtered them, but it wasn't me. So anyway, so then the gypsies find out that that's actually somebody else. You know, like I said, the gypsies were a very good group, and they were almost exterminated. They used to just do puppet shows, and they would do circus things, and they would bring smiles to the faces of children. And they would go through towns, playing their instruments and stuff like that. Thousands of years ago, the gypsies were great. They're a great epic group. They had their own city and everything else like that, and they were amazing. And they're very flexible people, basically, or something like that. I might have done some genetic work or done something or something, I don't know. But, as it basically is 1.5's exoskeletons and everything else, and some of these exoskeletons and 1.5s and everybody else, like I said, when you're me, when you're the builder of stars and the creator of life forms, sometimes life forms realize that you created them, and so they climb to an epic position or epic level, and then they turn around and they realize that I'm their creator, and then they did things for me because they knew that I had brought them into existence, that they wouldn't have existed without me, and I was their creator. So they get great big huge epic civilization, and then they're like, "Oh, you're our creator." It's like, "Yeah, I'm your creator. I created you. It's what I do. I'm genetics and all that other stuff." So some of these life forms, realizing that I'm their creator, did things on my behalf for me, because they wouldn't have existed unless I had actually genetically designed them and created them. So anyway, so like I say, it gets all complicated with me, because the exoskeletons realized that I was their creator, the 1.5s knew me as their creator, and the human race and females would eventually realize that I was their creator as well. So will you. And then you also realize I also named America and other places, and designed triple expansion steam and steam turbines and jet engines, and invented flight for you. the human race, or human life form type on Earth. So, anyway, and basically it pretty much well explains it. And there's film and cameras and records and aerial surveys of this entire planet from way back in time until present day. And there's also a space station which you never heard of. The Cosmos space station was actually put in orbit somewhere around 18 something. That's when Cosmos launched. Cosmos 1, Cosmos 2. Anyway, I believe I was with Russia. That's why there's a star above the Russian Kremlin. So, anyway. So we put Cosmos in space and we had ships. And so a lot of the rockets, the rocket launched from Kentucky or whatever, that was my rocket. But then there was war and everything else like that. And basically Nixon, JFK, and a whole bunch of other people. So eventually Lee Harvey Oswald kills Nixon, and then somebody kills, or Lee Harvey Oswald kills JFK, and then Nixon kills Lee Harvey Oswald or something like that. I don't really know. Lee Harvey Oswald told me, he said, "I'm not a good man. I'm not a good person. I'm just as bad as them. But he had a family now, and he saw the way JFK or Nixon really was. So he was going to take care of the problem for me." So anyway, but the problem was the nukes would launch if he died, or at least blah 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 blah. So anyway, some other people raised the umbrella to basically give the signal that the lines have been cut or bypassed, basically. So the nukes don't launch when they kill JFK. But then Nixon goes after the briefcase as well. So anyway, and Nixon's a really bad person too, chopping off arms and stuff. So anyway, but like I said, that's Nixon, that's Lee Harvey Oswald. There's what's going on. It's basically like the American drama. When you start thinking about the fact that I'm the one who wanted to have stores in the first place. The old company store, the old wagons, the queens. Like, I can tell you how the queens came into existence. They used to sell my dishes and stuff. And they used to go around the earth, talking to the people, getting the people to drink boiled water and also drink clean water, and also helping with other things. So anyway, so they get a lot of popularity and people really love them. And there's also stuff like my Belfast ships and my ancient ships, my wooden ships coming from all the way from Helena of Troy. So you see, and there's stuff like things that you haven't heard of, like the LSF colony ship, which Nixon or JFK was saying crashed with all hands dead, blah blah, or went off into space and never came back because they ran out of fuel or something like that. But they didn't crash. We ended up on another planet, a very nice one. And besides, I had my 1.5s and my exoskeletons. They were out there in the universe, and so they were just waiting for me to leave Earth. And as soon as I left Earth or whatever, they came to join me. And when I was going from planet to planet to planet, I was picking up spaceships. Like, spaceships would come and join me because I'm the LSF. I was LSF, Lucifer Star, in my flyer. So I had a lot of company in the universe. So anyway, because they knew me as the epic expedition colony person. And I'm also the creator of humanity and horses and all kinds of other stuff. So anyway, so yeah, and Nixon and JFK, Nixon had a bullshit or a fake PhD from Harvard or Yale and all this stuff, and was supposedly a psychologist in parapsychology and psychology. I knew about science and theories of the universe. So, anyway, or something like that. I don't really know. Like I said, basically Harvard was giving out fake PhDs or something like that. Anyway, so it turned out that one of the schools, or a few of the schools, were complete and total buckus, as they say. Fake. They were just paying out licenses to highest bidder or something like that. But these people didn't know anything. So, anyway, whatever, I don't really know. Like I said, this is just my understanding, I think, like I said, and like I said, a bunch of people check out Harvard, and it turns out a lot of the Nazi revolution or a lot of the white supremacist bullshit comes from Harvard, they said, or Yale, or something like that. Anyway, so like I say, I don't really care. It's your existence that got all spangled up, as they say. And, I'm Lucifer White Star of the Titanic, of the Lusitania, the inventor of the U-boats or submarines, and basically also inventor of the nuclear bomb. So, anyway, and also creator of humanity, horses, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, anyway, yeah. So the mobster, the mob was going to kill me, but then they found out who I was, and then once they found out and they talked to me and everything else, they start doing what I want them to do, and they get to lots of money and lots of power and lots of everything, and they have whatever they want, and they're not even breaking the law, and they love it. So anyway, so they owe me a debt as well, and then one of them gets diabetes, or somebody has diabetes, and basically through the medical and medicine and everything else, they're helped. And one of the daughters becomes a really good doctor or something like that, or something. So all these people, they owe me favors.